Last week, we took on board the arduous battle to conquer the notorious carnivore diet. In the previous video, you got to see the sacrifice, and now it's time to start seeing our well-deserved rewards. As we continue to optimize our body, mind, and the way that we compete in Valorant, what strides of progression are we going to take this week? Can we keep rolling the unstoppable snowball of momentum that we have been building? Can anything stop my unquenchable thirst for physical and mental strength? Starting off the week Monday, I take a nice vacation and go and explore regional Victoria with my girlfriend, clearing the mind in preparation for a big week ahead. But upon arriving home, I find that my new Wooting keyboard has arrived. It's basically the Lamborghini of keyboards. There's no other way I can explain it. It is the best. As for where we're up to with the carnivore adaptation brain fog situation, let me help you visualize it. This yellow line is basically my baseline level of brain fog before the carnivore diet. Week 10, we started off pretty stable for a few days before really starting to dip, and by the end of the week, we were just not feeling it at all. But I feel as if I didn't get any worse over the weekend, and that coming into Monday, Tuesday, we're actually looking at a reversal and things are starting to get clearer. So considering I'm able to use my brain now, I just get the week started off with a whole bunch of thinking and planning. I just start off by using an empty notepad and getting all my thoughts out of my mind, and then I finalize it in my official weekly planner. This gives us a few really clear areas of focus for the week so that we don't get distracted and we're as efficient with our time as possible. The three areas of focus that we're looking at this week is water consumption, sleep and sleep quality, and building wealth and getting on top of spending habits. This week we're going to aim to drink a bottle of water first thing in the morning. We're going to really respect the 1 hour wind down routine, and then just making sure that we refrain from purchasing anything beyond the bare essentials. After our little thinking session, we get stuck into our Valorant grind by both warming up the hands as well as doing our usual physical warm up. But today I decided to just hop straight into the range instead of doing a ramp warm-up. I was really eager to test out my new keyboard. To go from a cheap marketplace purchase to the Wooting is like going from 60Hz to 540Hz. I feel like all the time I spent learning new movement was just 10x'd, and that I can just effortlessly, without any thought or brain power, perfectly time every single bullet between strafes. But this week's approach to Valorant is completely different. We're going to play games dotted throughout the week, VOD review them, and then implement corrective measures immediately. This year was my first taste of the Wooting keyboarding comp, and it truly does free up all the brain power that I was originally putting into timing my bullets, and I can just focus on aim, focus on game sense, and focus on playing better, and it is a world of a difference. But now VOD reviewing this, the first thing I can see in my gameplay is a complete lack of intent when I'm swinging. Here, my crosshair is already moving to another angle because I don't truly believe I'm swinging into an enemy or someone could be there. You can also see the lack of intent here as I round the corners without doing any form of pre-aims. However, when I'm in a situation like this and I can hear the enemy, there's no problems at all because there is intent to fight someone when I swing. The first thing that I need to work on is creating that feeling of intent with every single pre-aim throughout the entire round, so that I'm never caught off guard and that I'm always prepared to fight. This is especially noticeable when I'm pushing onto sight, swinging and peeking angles, trying to take control, but I'm unfortunately just mindlessly rushing onto sight with zero intent. My crosshair should be right on his head, considering this is an extremely common enemy position. But these could be habits built from improper deathmatch practice and just mindlessly running around killing people. Unfortunately, this game does end up being a loss, but honestly, the real win is discovering new weaknesses to improve on now, and that's exactly what we get stuck into. The plan moving forwards is to now really practice our crosshair placement, as well as being way more intentional with our peaks. We're also going to try and increase our mouse control and smoothness on the side in order to complement good crosshair placement. But for now, let me introduce you to scenario-based deathmatch. Here, we've spawned into A main. We can imagine we're an attacker, and our goal is to get onto site and plant the bomb while clearing it as if we would clear it in an actual comp game, building strong, good, healthy habits for actual comp games. Here's another example where we're performing our retake on A site just as we would in game. Just to make it even more realistic, we do get a couple of kills and then it all goes to waste because we get flanked from heaven. My next deathmatch, I do relax a bit on the scenarios and just really focus on the crosshair placement itself, accurate distance, holding versus peeking, and stuff like that. If we want to learn as fast as possible, we need to be absorbing every single mistake we make. But once again, I cannot emphasize how good the Wooting movement is making everything feel. But I end my session with about 20 to 30 minutes of angle tracking and precision tracking scenarios, adjusting my posture, using more wrist on the table, relaxing any muscles that could be creating tension, and just overall improving my smoothness, before flicking on my red light, filling out the habit tracker, setting up my bottle of water for the next morning, and getting some sleep for our 6:30 morning shift. I slept amazing, and I slept until 6:30. I ended up being 40 minutes late to work, but they took it well and I was able to just stay back to make up the time. But now on to an important topic. I'm going to share with you the meta carnivore dish. Like, this thing is powerful. This is a powerful piece of food. The first step is purchasing yourself 1 kilogram of minced beef, preferably with a bit of fat to it. The first challenge that you'll face in cooking this dish is opening the mince packet without a knife. You can use a knife, but that's weak. Common practice for halving the mince is a zero impact karate chop regulation compliant approved variation. And then your next challenge is condensing the meat into a ball. Squash the ball, salt the ball, and then realize you've run out of gas and take the ball back inside and put it on the stove. In order to get a consistent result, make sure to just use whatever heat you feel like on the day, and then do the thing that the chefs do where they move it around a little bit, cook it evenly by flipping it whenever you feel like, and if it looks like this, it probably isn't raw in the middle. Next, I add a bit of Gouda cheese, about 5 slices, and then pour every single drop of fat onto that Gouda cheese, before lightly buttering it, and voila, this is the burger cheese. Based on the fact that it is completely carnivore, extremely cost effective, and takes a few minutes to make, we are going to eat this every single day. Twice. Considering we're coming from underweight, I'm starting with more fat than I think I may need. We can reduce it and tweak it as we go, but this covers pretty much everything we need from a fundamental level. Once we add in fish and beef liver once a week, then we've got absolutely everything we need. Anyways, I'm keen to play some Valorant, so I'm getting stuck into my physical warm-up straight away, getting a few stretches in, getting my hand-eye coordination peak, until something was bothering me. I do have a project in mind. When I'm at my desk, this is the position of my arm here. When I go like this, I feel an awkward tension here. When I naturally get comfortable, they're below, which means that in order to play Valorant, I have to elevate them a little bit. My chair's at the max height, meaning I have to lower my desk somehow, and it is not adjustable, so that'll be fun. So I need to lower my desk, and I do what any reasonable person would do, and I get a saw from the garage, come back, and I start sawing off the legs. But the first leg of that table for some reason took me like 20 minutes to saw off, and yeah, I decided to just get my drill and do what I always do. All was going really well until I made a bit of a mistake. Holy fuck. I'm no tradie, so I had absolutely no idea drill bits got as hot as they do. But upon completion, man, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. Nice. Hey, now that's an upgrade. We got better lighting, better hand position, way better. Oh, that feels so good. Got a bit of a clean done. So let's play some Val. My clarity, my focus, and my energy was now surpassing where it once was before the carnivore diet. And as my brain was getting bumpier, my aim was getting smoother. I hop into a deathmatch, And this truly shows the power of dedicated practice sessions followed by high quality sleep. Our crosshair placement is unrecognizably better. Our micro movements are flawless and snappy thanks to the wooting, while simultaneously our aiming is way softer and way more controlled. With the confidence of knowing that we developed yesterday's weaknesses, I stepped foot onto the server again, putting our rank and pride on the line. And all of our efforts resulted in a satisfying, clean victory. I continued the momentum by playing a second game and get placed into Abyss. Now, a win is a win, but I feel like I don't have a game plan when I play on Abyss, and I feel like my utility doesn't have much of a place. I feel like that's the same for everyone across the board, and my advantage is my mechanics, but I want better util usage. That's why this practice session we're not only mastering Abyss specific crosshair placement, but we're also learning how to play Breach, the meta initiator on the map. In the wise words of Wooting, one trick a roll, not an agent. So that's exactly what I do. I sit in the custom for a good 30 minutes, learning all the best spots for my new utility, and it created a new level of excitement and comfort towards playing Abyss again. After completing my study session, I continue training my smoothness. I want my crosshair placement to look like it's been done by the Kovacs free play aimbot setting. But as we know, one of the main focuses is sleep, so I cut my session after 20-30 minutes and get myself to bed. Once again, another 6:30 start, this time making sure to allocate enough time to get ready, meet my water quota, as well as comfortably drive down to work. An important thing to note though is that my brain is still getting clearer and clearer by the day. The carnivore adaptation phase is gone, and now it's just about how much benefit I can receive from it. So after finishing my shift and coming home, I start off by warming up my hands in some hot water, same as always. But man, I was feeling good about today's Valorant games. I was just so excited to see what it felt like to no longer be held back by the carnivore diet and instead be empowered by it. After completing my ramp warm-up, I decided to make a critical decision to lower my sensitivity from 0.4 to 0.3. The reason for changing to a high sense in the first place was to improve my mouse control, so we doubled our original sense of 0.2. I want to meet in the middle and give myself a little bit of a break from the high sense, while simultaneously maintaining a little bit of a challenge for my mouse control. But after warming up, playing a deathmatch, spending some time in a custom, and then queuing into a competitive game, let's see how we perform. At first the game seemed horrible, but I wasn't playing bad. I was also completely calm and completely focused, unfazed by the frustration that normally is caused by an Odin spamming Sova main. The scores were 2-10 before we end up securing the third round of the game. 3-3. Jets out.
Go. City.
Down.
Bridge as well. Unfortunately, we did let the enemy team get to match point, which means from this point onwards, all it takes is one mistake and we lose the game. Despite communication starting to get quieter and quieter, my gameplay was not impacted at all. This was becoming a true test of courage. Being just one mistake away from losing, how well can we face the possibility of defeat? Are we becoming the stoic man that we want to be? Can we control our emotions in times where it is needed to be controlled? Can we maintain accuracy and precision despite the surrounding chaos?
Nice.
And the rewards for passing this test is our first rank up of the act. After an extremely high octane Valorant comeback, I take a 1 hour break to go and smash out a barbell workout. After skipping my first gym session of the week to travel with my partner, and then Wednesday being too weak to make it happen, today is my first and only gym session for the week. This is something that I will never allow to happen again, ever. Today's post-workout meal? Burger cheese. You see, but coming back from the gym has done something. It has done something to both my mind and my body. The carnivore diet was now enabling my mind to be at peak performance, but returning to the gym after a week was enabling my body to work in unison with that mind, to be at the same level as that mind. My arms felt warmer than ever, ready to go, accurate, precise. It felt like the speed at which my mind was working at could now suddenly be replicated by my body. This was the missing link. Words cannot describe how good it felt. It was as if I was completely present in the current moment, like my awareness had expanded to a new level. Like when I say I played good, I'm talking about a 2.6 kill-death ratio, a 60% headshot percentage across 26 different kills, and a 90% KAST. I almost maxed out the Valorant tracker rating system. I wind down my night with a target switching playlist, yet the quality was not diminishing in the slightest. Realizing the importance of the body, I have officially added the secondary workout to the main routine. I feel like a part of my success in the last game was that I pushed my back and arms to after Valorant instead of doing my regular bent over rows. I got the increased dopamine, the increased blood flow, and just felt so warmed up, but I didn't feel fatigued in the muscles that I used to aim. I'm going to continue to strengthen the fingers, hands, forearms, and all the muscles related to aim in the hopes of more stability, but I'm going to make sure that when I play Valorant, I'm not fatigued. Friday came around really fast this week. Another successful morning drink bottle down. I decided to do my first little level up on the system, adding a 9:30 AM secondary bottle. And then I just keep the day really simple with the Bardoz aim routine. Words can't describe the level of mental clarity that I feel. I was just completely unbothered by the passing of time. Both at work and in the same training session, being present in the moment just felt so easy. Something that's actually been a massive challenge my entire life. It's as if my mind has just finally upgraded to Town Hall 10 and I've got access to all this new potential. One of these areas being able to fall into just extremely deep states of meditation. I not only flew through this 30-minute meditation session, but I was actually craving more at the end of it, just the peace that I was able to feel. I genuinely, this next level awareness, I don't know what to call it, but it's crazy. In terms of the goals that we set at the start of the video, we smashed them. Every single day this week, I drank more water than I ever have before. I didn't miss a single morning drink bottle. The nighttime wind down routines, I only missed one. And I didn't make a single purchase. This is the first time in a while I didn't make a single purchase beyond the burger cheese. That is all I have spent my money on this week. It's just mince, butter, and cheese. This week was one of our most productive weeks to date. All there is to do from here is level up further, keep grinding, keep progressing. If you have any ideas, chuck them down below and I'll take them all on board. I read everything and I try to have a bit of a chat where I can. While I grind out my next week, I hope you're doing the same. See you next Sunday.